Altogether revived for 2025, the Nissan Kicks subcompact hybrid is developing, however still can't seem to completely leave the minimal expense fun size characteristics that characterize the first, including completely new styling all around. The Kicks outside has developed into a more present-day translation of last year's model with bolder, yet less occupied, front and back fasciae. Albeit a sprinkle of the first profile stays, the upgraded Kicks is an inch or two bigger in each aspect, converting into 1.7 inches more front shoulder room, 1.9 inches more shoulder room, and 0.9 inches more knee room in the back. The useful Lodge gets new infotainment choices, including an accessible 12.3-inch focus screen, and the inside plan is refreshed to match the SUV's outside stylish. Fundamentally, another 141 horsepower 2.0-liter four-chamber steps in for the past models, oftentimes stressed 1.6-liter motor, and all-wheel drive joins the choices list interestingly. So prepared, it's currently a more normal contender to the Mazda CX-30 and Volkswagen Taos. Completely updated for 2025, the new Kicks is bigger, includes new styling all around, and highlights an additional strong four-chamber motor with accessible all-wheel drive. The suspension currently gives 8.4 creeps of ground freedom, up from 7.0 crawls in the past model, to make minor rough terrain trips simpler. Nissan's zero-gravity seats, previously just saw as toward the front, are presently standard in front and back, and the top SR trim gets expert pilot path keeping help, a first for any Kicks model. The cost of the 2025 Nissan Kicks is supposed to begin around $23,000 and go up to $26,000, relying upon the trim and options. While evaluating for the 2025 Kicks will not be accessible until nearer to its mid to pre-fall marked down date, it's a decent wagered valuing will increment somewhat, while as yet staying in passage level region. In light of that, we're staying with the mid-level SV as the Kicks of decision. Note that all-wheel drive is discretionary on each of the three trims. Long scorned for its feeble-need 1.6-liter four-chamber motor, Nissan is updating the 2025 Kicks with a 2.0-liter unit evaluated for 141 drive and 140 lb-ft of force. Up by 20 horsepower and 26 lb-ft, it ought to go quite far to quiet pundits. A CVT pipes the force to the front, or, without precedent for a Kicks, each of the four wheels when furnished with the discretionary AWD. The AWD-prepared models likewise get an extra snow drive mode added to the standard ordinary, eco, and game modes. Whenever we have an opportunity to test drive the 2025 Kicks, we'll refresh this story with driving impressions and instrumented test results. Modernization go on into the inside with level presentation screens calculated somewhat toward the driver for better perceivability. A level-based controlling wheel gets a similar sewing as the Scramble, and back travelers get a solace update with the expansion of Nissan's tremendously ballyhooed zero-gravity seats. On the SR trim, environment control capabilities are currently controlled through a haptic touchboard instead of the customary double-dial arrangement in the past age Kicks. Dials are as yet standard on the lower manages. Freight space is expanded, yet settling on AWD negatively affects trunk space because of the extra drive equipment. In particular, there are 29 cubic feet behind the subsequent column in front-wheel drive models and 24 cubic feet with all-wheel drive. Overlap the back seats and you'll find 59 solid shapes in the front driver and 50 with all-wheel drive. Whenever we get an opportunity, we'll play out our portable bag fitment test on the two models and update this story with the outcomes. The base S accompanies a standard 7.0-inch variety touchscreen, while the SV and SR move forward to a 12.3-inch unit and get remote Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The S has a solitary kind A USB port, while the SV and SR get a couple of USB-C ports. The SR likewise has a couple of USB-C ports for back travelers. A 4-speaker sound system with Bluetooth and a helper input is standard. The SV adds Sirius XM satellite radio, while the SR trim-ups the speaker build up to 6. Audio files should bounce on the 10-speaker Bose structure, which consolidates headrest-mounted speakers for the front seats. Nissan gives an enormous gathering of standard driver help development and robotized emergency dialing back, way departure early notification, and back cross-traffic alert are standard across the range. Standard robotized emergency dialing back with individual by walking disclosure. Standard way departure forewarning. Open flexible excursion control with a way centering feature.